Brianna Turner signed with the Indiana Fever. You can only imagine how this player feels about the Indiana Fever fan base. She hates your ass. I'm going to call her out for not only blocking people like me because she can't stand the heat, get the hell out of the kitchen, like you can expect from cowards. I would like to thank the Academy. Welp Turner is officially blocking fans following the Fever. She's blocked me.
The crowd was buzzing, the lights were blazing, and everyone expected business as usual, until Caitlin Clark made a move no one saw coming. Just minutes before tip-off, she stepped onto the court without Brianna Turner by her side.
I've called this a activist basketball league, and we signed one of the lead activists. It's unbelievable. Somebody that has vocally talked shit about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever fans. The outrage is real. Go look at Turner's Twitter X feed, and it is activist central. I hope the Indiana Fever know what they're doing because they've got a whole lot of new fans, and a lot of those new fans support this president that is in office. Brianna Turner, he's doing exactly what I voted him in to do. He is overwhelmingly getting positive marks.
No explanation, no warning, just a shocking decision that left fans, analysts, and even her own teammates speechless. Whispers turned into a frenzy. Was this a last-minute strategy shift? A personal decision? Or was something deeper brewing behind the scenes?
There is her official tweet. Will society look back on U.S. politics as a comedy or a tragedy? I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh or cry when I watch the antics of the U.S. government. This is radically disrespecting a massive portion of the Indiana Fever fan base.
Whatever the reason, one thing was clear. Caitlin Clark wasn't waiting on anyone, and in that single moment, she flipped the script on everything we thought we knew. Caitlin Clark has never been one to shy away from the spotlight, but what she did just moments ago has pushed her into a whole new level of unpredictability.
It's like the Indiana Fever do not have a grip on all these new fans that have come in. 15,000 sending money in their direction. 15,000 tickets sold in 36 minutes. 60 to 70% supporters of the president that Brianna Turner is talking shit about.
Choosing to take the floor without Brianna Turner, her veteran teammate, and one of the most dependable defensive anchors on the squad, wasn't just a bold move. It was almost unthinkable. Brianna Turner has been a stabilizing force on and off the court. Known for her elite shot blocking, rebounding, and quiet leadership.
So we couldn't have 17.5-point Kennedy Carter because of her history and attitude, but y'all give us jealous-ass 1.2 points per game Brianna Turner? The Fever front office just set this offseason. Pick your locker room pieces wisely.
And this is what Fever president had to say about protecting their locker room.
Those are elements that each player that we have handpicked to be a part of this roster have that. Protect our locker room. Protect the culture that we've got started. That was very intentional.
Turner has long been the kind of player who does the dirty work, allowing stars like Clark to shine on offense. Together, they balanced each other out, flash and fundamentals, fire and calm. So when Clark showed up ready to play, and Turner was nowhere in the rotation, the confusion was instant. It wasn't an injury, it wasn't suspension, it was a decision. And according to early whispers from insiders and sideline footage, it was Caitlin Clark's decision.
Before Caitlin Clark showed up, the Indiana Fever drew 4,000 to 5,000 fans in attendance. That jumped to what, 16,000? That's a lot of new fans.
What could have possibly pushed her to bench the most experienced post presence on her roster? Some are speculating it was a power move. Clark, stepping into her new role as a franchise cornerstone, may be testing what it looks like to run the team her way. Others suggest a clash in play style. Turner, while defensively elite, isn't a scoring threat.
The Indiana Fever signed Brianna Turner, people like me that follow the Indiana Fever, and she's promptly blocking folks. Namely, she blocked me.
And perhaps Clark wanted a faster, stretchier lineup that could run with her pace and feed her rhythm. But not everyone is buying that explanation. Some fans and analysts are hinting at something deeper: tension.
The Indiana Fever just signed a political activist that could bring in and torch your locker room.
Maybe not full-blown drama, but a slow-building disconnect between the old guard and the new star. Clark, fresh off her explosive college career, has entered the league with massive expectations and a media machine behind her. That kind of pressure can shift dynamics fast, especially on a team trying to find its identity in a new season. And it's not just about stats, it's about chemistry, trust, and presence.
Politics has always been a hotly contested subject. Topics like DEI, immigration, tariffs, and the economy are current hot topics being argued in the public square. Both are in person and online. One of the participants in that public square is Brianna Turner of the Indiana Fever. Turner weighed in on the current political climate in the United States in light of the second term of President Donald Trump, who defeated Democrat candidate Kamala Harris in the 2024 presidential election.
Turner has always been a locker room leader, a calming voice when the stakes get high. Leaving her out of the rotation sends a loud message. The direction of this team might be changing, and not everyone's invited. What's even more shocking is that Clark didn't flinch. She came out firing, taking control, calling plays, and carrying the weight as if she had something to prove.
Some of y'all are taking the Brianna Turner signing too far. It's one thing to be annoyed, even pissed, but I'm seeing, quote, protect the locker room being used as a dog whistle for thinly veiled racism. If you're white and doing that shit, maybe think about how it looks before you tweet. Hey, it's unbelievable. It really is.
No hesitation, no signs of regret, just focus. It was the kind of leadership move that either makes legends or sparks locker room earthquakes. Right now, the basketball world is divided. Some are calling it gutsy, saying it's time for fresh leadership and fearless decisions. Others are calling it reckless, questioning whether Caitlin Clark, as brilliant as she is ready to make franchise-altering calls.
You players don't have that option to pick and choose who follows the league. Now, you can choose to push them away and in turn, never ever make better money. You're never going to make NBA money. Yeah, a lot of fans are tuning in for Caitlin Clark.
But one thing is certain, this wasn't just another game. It was a statement. And whether it unites the team or fractures it, we're about to find out. As the dust settled from Caitlin Clark's shocking decision to take the court without Brianna Turner, reactions began pouring in, and they weren't just casual observations. They were loud, emotional, and divided right down the middle.
You can say a lot about Caitlin Clark's politics or whatever, but she's never blatantly come out, directly dogged out anybody on the right.
The basketball world was now split into two camps. Those who saw Clark's move as visionary, and those who believed she had just set a dangerous precedent. On one side, fans praised her for having the guts to make a game-altering call. For them, this wasn't just about removing a teammate, it was about taking control.
Does their front office understand exactly what their new fan base is? Look, they just inherited 4 times larger fan base than they ever had before.
Clark is more than a rookie sensation. She's being positioned as the future of the franchise, possibly even the face of the entire league. And with that title comes pressure, scrutiny, and the burden of decision-making.
Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. First triple-double in Fever history. The first player to be named WNBA Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. First player in WNBA history with 20 or more points, 15 or more assists, and 5 or more rebounds in a game. She won Rookie of the Month 4 times. Eastern Conference Player of the Week 3 times, single season rookie record for assists, single season rookie record for 3-pointers, single game record for assists, 19, franchise record for most double-doubles, 3-pointers, career 10 or more assists in a game, franchise record for most career 10 or more assists in a game. Fastest WNBA player to reach 100 3-pointers. She did it in 34 games, most assists by a rookie in a WNBA All-Star game for which she received the most fan votes ever, 700,000 of those. Fastest player to reach 350 points and 150 assists to start a season regardless of years in the league. People will say, pay more attention to the other folks. Like, she couldn't do it herself. You know, LeBron has teammates, Jordan had teammates. I understand.
Some supporters see this moment as her stepping fully into that role, not just as a scorer or a playmaker, but as a leader who's not afraid to shake the foundation to build something better. Social media lit up with praise. This is what greatness looks like. Caitlin's not here to play politics, she's here to win. For those fans, it was refreshing to see a player so young refusing to play it safe. She wasn't going to wait for permission. She was making moves now.
This is the Indiana Fever equivalent of the CNN reporter standing out in front of the burning buildings talking about it's mostly a peaceful protest. Everything behind you is literally burning to the ground.
But the other side, they weren't impressed. They were concerned. To them, this was ego disguised as leadership. They saw a rookie walking into a league of seasoned veterans and immediately drawing lines in the sand. And sidelining someone like Brianna Turner, who's given years to the game, who's battled through injuries, who's earned her respect, felt not just disrespectful, but deeply risky. And let's be real.
Angel Reese talking about WNBA players should be paid like NBA players. As long as there are activist basketball players in this league like this that is going to continue to push fans away who just want the sport.
Locker rooms are fragile ecosystems. Chemistry matters. Trust matters.
So we're supposed to believe this person miraculously loves Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever fans all of a sudden. There's no way you're going to really sell me on this. This is crazy. Do you want people to spend money on your product? Locker room implosion.
When a new player walks in and starts changing dynamics overnight, it doesn't just shift roles. It threatens the entire balance. Veteran players watch how these things play out. They pay attention to who's respected and who's discarded. And many are wondering, if Clark can pull this with Turner, who's next? Then there's the question of why now? Why take this risk at this stage of the season when the team is still building rhythm and cohesion?
They put out the official signing. We have signed Brianna Turner. Welcome to the squad. Is the Indiana Fever literally going to start blocking Caitlin Clark fans?
Some insiders have hinted at growing friction, disagreements on play style, off-court communication issues, even rumored tension during practice sessions. Nothing confirmed, of course, but where there's smoke, there's usually fire.
This player, ironically, is from Texas, and she takes a blatant shot at Texas. My fellow Texans that voted to keep Ted Cruz in office, you will never be forgiven for such heinous crimes against humanity. We love Ted Cruz here. Ted Cruz is overwhelmingly beloved.
Even the media began picking sides. Some analysts applauded Clark's ambition and pointed to the fact that the team played faster, looser, more fluid without Turner clogging the paint. Others raised eyebrows, asking why a rising star would make such a dramatic call so early in her career. It's one thing to take the shot, one analyst said. It's another to shoot yourself in the foot. And hanging over all of it is this question. Was this truly Caitlin Clark's call? Or did someone behind the scenes push for this move and let her take the fall or the credit?
Brianna Turner right here, two-time all-defensive, but 1.2 points per game. People are saying, well, she'll play 5 minutes. Then why have her on this team?
Whatever the real reason, one thing's clear. Caitlin Clark didn't just make a lineup change. She made a statement about who she is and the kind of leader she's going to be. And now every move she makes will be watched closer than ever. Because this is no longer about potential. This is about power. As the tension surrounding Caitlin Clark's decision continues to boil, a new question is surfacing, and it's even more complex than the act itself.
Brianna Turner from the Indiana Fever firing shots towards the fan base. Friendly reminder that I am against all forms of discrimination, including racism, sexism, homophobia, misogyny, and transphobia. I often advocate against these discriminatory practices. Feel free to unfollow, mute, or block me if that is bothersome to you. I will not bend the knee or change my online advocacy efforts to appease others. While I anticipate receiving criticism, hostility, and invalidation, I will not tolerate discrimination. I wonder, does that go for you too if you criticize white folks? If I'm not for you, there are about 150 other W players that you can support instead. I have interest in a life outside of my playing career. I do not expect or crave validation from social media. I have low expectations for Twitter, and I'm cognizant that many will reject my takes. You got that right. I literally have an MA in social justice and human rights, so of course I speak up.
What does this mean for the future of the team? Because this isn't just a one-game ripple. It's the kind of moment that sends shockwaves through an entire season, possibly even an entire franchise. First, let's talk about team dynamics. Every locker room has an unspoken hierarchy. Who leads, who listens, who sets the tone. Brianna Turner, with her years of experience and quiet consistency, has always been a part of that structure. Her presence brought balance, especially for younger players still adjusting to the league. Removing her from the equation isn't just about the starting lineup. It shifts the emotional center of the team. That kind of disruption doesn't fade overnight.
Not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. I was extremely naive in this election. I thought the American people had standards for who leads us. I assumed that being a felon, having numerous sexual misconduct allegations, and a racist was too much to overlook. Truly bamboozled. Y'all got me for real. She's talking. She just trashed President Trump.
Some players may back Clark's leadership and love the faster, more aggressive pace she brings. But others, they might be watching cautiously, wondering what their own future looks like under this new regime. No matter how talented Clark is, trust in a team is built over time. Not just by scoring points, but by showing that you value your teammates, especially the ones who've been grinding long before the cameras showed up.
Turner is a rim protector, high-level rebounder, all-around defensive scorer, two-time All-WNBA first team. Are you kidding me? Hell, just add Cheryl Swoops to the locker room while you're at it.
Then there's the coaching staff and management, who now find themselves in a delicate position. Do they back their young superstar and potentially alienate veterans? Or do they try to reestablish balance, possibly risking Clark's momentum and confidence? It's a high-wire act, because while Caitlin Clark is undoubtedly a once-in-a-generation talent,
right, and that's what a lot of these women are doing, is they feel like what we have done for this game, this young player has come into our game, and she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are. As she should. The young girl is a baller. The young girl has people watching because of the way she can shoot this basketball like Steph Curry. Steph Curry can't dunk. Steph Curry don't do none of that in the game. He can probably dunk by himself, but he don't really do none of that in the game. He is a shooter, and fans tune in to see Steph Curry. When I look at Caitlin Clark, fans are tuning in to watch her, and you know who that's helping? Everybody else. It's helping the Asia Wilsons. It's helping everybody else, the Plums, all that. It's helping all of them, the Taras.
Even the brightest stars can't win alone. And if the foundation cracks now, it could lead to long-term instability. From a PR standpoint, this is also a defining moment. Clark's brand has always been built on competitive fire, unshakable confidence, and next-level playmaking. But leadership? That's a new layer. And the world is watching how she handles it.
This is crazy as hell. They let the wolf into the hen house. There goes the locker room. What are we doing?
If she rallies the team, owns her choices, and brings results, she becomes untouchable, the leader. But if the team falters, or if chemistry starts breaking down behind the scenes, this decision could haunt her for the rest of her rookie season.
Caitlin Clark's popularity is tied to her whiteness. What Nike and Caitlin Clark are known for as of right now is the fact that they have set on Caitlin Clark as what is their most valuable asset.
Fans, meanwhile, are still wrestling with mixed emotions. They love Clark's intensity and drive, but many are deeply loyal to Turner too. And in today's social media-driven sports culture, perception matters. One emotional interview, one leaked locker room clip, or one bad loss, and the entire narrative can flip.
Hell no, cut this crazy lady before the season starts. She's worse than Bronny James. Ken Swift, there's no way she's a fit on this team culturally. She had to be negative about this. Respectfully, I'm confused. Is this what runners-up typically does now? Haven't seen this before, but kudos to them.
The pressure isn't just on Clark to play well, it's on her to lead well. And don't forget the other teams in the league. They're watching too, scouting not just Clark's skill, but the psychological state of her team.
Who's going to be the next face of the NBA? We don't get to decide that. The marketplace decides that. The people have chosen Caitlin Clark. They enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot. Whether it's because her game mirrors one of the greatest players in the NBA in Steph Curry or not, I don't know what it is. It's an intangible thing, right? Yes, we can say she's a dog. Okay, there's been other dogs. Okay, she's a great shooter. There's been other great shooters. She has it. She's got the thing.
Opponents thrive on chaos. If they sense division, they'll exploit it. Every crack becomes a target. Every miscommunication becomes a weakness. And Caitlin Clark, now seen as the centerpiece of her squad, will have to wear every victory and every loss on her shoulders.
What is she doing wrong? What more do you want from Caitlin Clark? Seriously, what more do you want from her? She's focusing on the game. She lifted her team up, got them to the playoffs, won Rookie of the Year, and then also is denouncing racial tensions when she's asked about it. I'm sorry, I don't see anything more that Caitlin Clark should have done or could have done. Listen, if people want to portray and paint the narrative that there are racial tensions in the WNBA as a result of Caitlin Clark, I would say that's their own problem. I think Caitlin Clark is doing the right thing, rising above all of the crap that she's had to endure. The amount of fouls committed on Caitlin Clark higher than any other player, flagrant fouls committed on Caitlin Clark higher than any other player. Caitlin Clark was worried about playing the game, and that is why she got Rookie of the Year. She was not worried about the BS.
Ultimately, this isn't just a sports story. It's a leadership story. It's about risk, reputation, and the razor-thin line between brilliance and backlash. Caitlin Clark has made her move, and now the entire basketball world is waiting to see what happens next.
Caitlin Clark actually reportedly inquired as to whether or not opposing teams could be paid more money due to her having the ability to sell out road games, right? Because of her star power. She is not in the game merely to boost her own persona. And the Indiana Fever president, Allison Barber, revealed this request made by Clark during the season. Listen.
After a few away games and all of the sellouts, Caitlin asked the WNBA if they would pay spot bonuses to the away team players. She said, wow, we're making all this new revenue, and I would like the away team to benefit from that. Could they get a spot bonus? So that's the heart of Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's a classy, amazing person.
Will this be the birth of a new era or the beginning of a storm she can't control? The clock is ticking. No matter which side you're on, one thing is undeniable. Caitlin Clark has just changed the game. Her decision to play without Brianna Turner wasn't just a lineup adjustment. It was a bold public declaration that she's here to lead on her own terms, with no safety net and no apologies.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
But leadership comes with consequences. And while some call it fearless, others see a storm brewing beneath the surface. Tension, loyalty, chemistry, it's all in play now. The spotlight isn't just on her shot anymore. It's on every move she makes.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. She's so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know what? Us Midwesterners, we tend to just, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin Clark.
One decision, one moment, and suddenly the entire season feels like it's balancing on the edge of something big. Will it all come together or fall apart? One thing's for sure, the world's watching.
And I may lose my job. They're going to come after my job. We're not in position to say, shut up.
$36 million she drove to Indianapolis just by showing up as a rookie and making history. And so I understand her point of view. She wants to probably let other athletes shine. And she also says, it's earned, not given. There are other people that can use that spotlight to compete as well. So I think Caitlin, she moves because she knows people follow her no matter where she goes. And she's very strategic about dictating where her value is.
I remember when the WNBA started. I was thrilled. I was a fan. I couldn't believe it was an opportunity for me, a 5'2", 97-pound girl, to go play professional basketball. That wasn't going to happen for me. But the idea that it existed was special to me. And now she's offering that to not just little girls, but little boys as well. She's spread the fan base. So
there's so many players who cite you as an inspiration for their games, including Caitlin Clark, who's just absolutely a phenomenon in college. What's that next step like for her?
Next steps, in this generation, right? You have, I think, just so many more challenges of how to handle yourself as an adult, right? You go through that whirlwind of being a senior in college, transitioning into the W. And then the next step is how to become just an even better leader. And so much of leadership, I think, is listening and learning. And hopefully the more she can get connected to vets in the league and just different people and coaches and anyone that she can glean wisdom from of how to just continue to learn how to be as a connected and inspiring leader as she can be. And a lot of that is walking the walk and not just talking the talk. So she's already on her way, but, continuing to have fun, continuing to anticipate how people are going to try to stop her and being prepared as she can be for next season.